Hi there. It's September 16th and time for Proverbs 16. Let's jump over there and we'll get into it. 1599 Geneva Bible. And we have the New American Standard over here, just in case it gets confusing, right? For us modern English people. Okay, verse 1. The preparations of the heart are in man, but the answer of the tongue is in the Lord. Preparations, plans, right? There's a note for that. He derideth the presumption of men who dare attribute to himself anything, as to prepare his heart, or such like, seeing that he is not able to speak a word except God give it to him. Yeah, if you're following the Lord, you can make all your plans, your answers coming from the Lord. If you fear the Lord, right? Yeah. Verse 2. All the ways of man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the spirits, or weighs the motives, it says over here. Another one. He showeth hereby that man flattereth himself in his doings, calling that virtue, which God termeth vice. God calls it a vice, we call it a virtue. Right? The Lord weighs the spirits, or weighs the motives, right? Ulterior motives. All right. I'll highlight this over here too. 3. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be directed. Right? Or your plans will be established. Right? You should commit everything to the Lord before you do it. Right? Every role. I had a plumber come out to do a large job at a house one time. And I was so impressed. I mean, I didn't know he was a Christian, okay? I just hired him to be a good, honest man to install a large heater for me, water-based heater. And before he started, he got all his tools out. He's ready to, lay the pipe in the trench and hook it up inside. Before he did anything, he got together and put his hand on his assistant's shoulder, and they prayed. Lord, bless this job. Make it go well. And I prayed with them, and I was really impressed, that there are people that do commit their works unto the Lord, everything they do. And of course, the job went perfect, right? So, right, everything you do, let's highlight that. We talked about it, right? So we'll highlight it. Okay, for the Lord hath made all things for his own sake, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil, so that the justice of God shall appear to his glory, even in the destruction of the wicked. God even made the wicked for the day of evil. Amazing, huh? Made all things for his own sake. That's his own sake, and over here it says to its, or his, capital, they changed it. The Lord has made everything for his own purpose, right? God made everything for himself. That's interesting, isn't it? Okay, 5. All that are proud in heart are an abomination to the Lord. Though hand joined in hand, he shall not be unpunished. Though hand joined in hand. Oops. All that are proud in heart. That means you think you're better than everybody else. You got pride. I'm better than you. I'm not going to lower myself to your abomination. Okay. If you have pride, you are an abomination. That's a tough word to say right there, right? 6. By mercy and truth iniquity shall be forgiven, and by the fear of the Lord they depart from evil. Their upright and repenting life shall be a token that their sins are forgiven. Right. Mercy and truth shall iniquity be forgiven. By loving kindness and truth, iniquity is atoned for, and by the fear of the Lord one keeps away from evil. Right. Good stuff. 7. When the ways of man please the Lord, he shall make also his enemies at peace with him. Right. as he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. If your ways please the Lord, if you're following the Lord and pleasing the Lord, your enemies won't bother you. Okay? Take that to the bank. 8, this is a good one. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without equity. Right. Great income with injustice, it says over here. It's better to be righteous and have a little than to be rich and crooked, because in the end, for all of eternity, you can be in paradise or you can be in hell. Awful, flaming fire, gnashing of teeth, and all that stuff. Instead of seeking money, you should be seeking righteousness. Pretty simple. 9, the heart of man purposeth his way, but the Lord doth direct his steps. Proposeth his way. Now that sounds just like one, doesn't it? Right. Preparations of the heart are in man, but the answer of the tongue is in the Lord. The heart of a man. He showeth the folly of man, which thinketh that his ways are his own hand, yet it is able to remove 1 foot, except God gives him grace. Right? The Lord directs your steps. The Lord, right? Answer of the tongue is in the Lord. Right? And the Lord directs your steps. You think you're going, but the Lord's directing your steps. 10, a divine sentence shall be in the lips of the king. His mouth shall not transgress in judgment. A divine decision is in the lips of the king. His mouth should not err in judgment. His mouth shall not transgress in judgment. There are some crooked kings, and even Ephesians warns us about. We're fighting against crooked rulers, right? But a true king is not like that. The true weight and balance are of the Lord, and the weights of the bag are his work. Right? A just balance and scales. And he talks about this a lot, all over the place, just balance and scale. Not cheating people that you're selling goods to. A lot of people do, okay? And the Lord really hates that. 12, it is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by justice. They are appointed by God to rule according to equity and justice, right? It is abomination for kings to commit wickedness, but they do, don't they? They do. 13, righteous lips are the delight of kings, and the king loveth him that speaketh right things. The king loves people who speaks the right things, right? 14, the wrath of a king is as messengers of death, but a wise man will pacify it. It's pretty straightforward, huh? You must appease the king, right? In these days, kings had ultimate power over life and death. So it paid to keep them happy, right? Okay, 15, the light of the king's countenance is life, and his favor is as a cloud of the latter rain. That's a good rain. Right. Which is most comfortable to the dry ground. A lot about kings in here, huh? 16, how much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding is more desirable than silver. Okay. Overriding message of Proverbs: seek the Lord and seek wisdom, and not money, and the other stuff will come to you. Okay. Important. 17, the path of the righteous is to decline from evil, and he keepeth his soul that keepeth his way. Yeah. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He who watches his way preserves his life. Right. Or your soul. The path of the righteous is to decline, stay away from evil. All right. Guard your soul, guard your life. 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a high mind before the fall. Something Grandma used to say, huh? My grandma used to say this: pride goeth before a fall, before destruction. Pride never goes. If you're full of pride, somebody's always going to knock you down. You're going to fall every time, because there's always somebody that will be smarter than you. Even though you think you're the smartest one in the room, somebody will knock you off that pedestal. Okay? Better to be humble. Oh, what's right below it? I just said it. Better it is to be humble in mind with the lowly than to divide the spoils with the proud. Right? Humbleness is always better. 20. He that is wise in his business shall find good, and he that trusteth in the Lord, he is blessed. He who gives attention to the word will find good, and is blessed is he who trusts in the Lord, pays attention to the word. And who says he who is wise in his business, the Lord's business, right, shall find good, and he that trusteth in the Lord shall be blessed. Wise in his business. See, that says two different things, doesn't it? 21. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips shall increase doctrine. The sweet words of consolation which come forth of a godly heart. That's interesting. The wise in heart will be called understanding, and the sweetness of speech increases persuasiveness, or learning lips. Wise in the heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips shall increase doctrine, learning. All right? That's interesting. Finding that the 1599 Geneva Bible says a lot of things different. I mean, it says the same thing, but it says it very different. 22. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto them that have it, and the instruction of fools is folly, or foolishness. Either that which the wicked teach others, or else it is folly to teach them that are malicious. Right? Instruction of fools, that is to teach fools, to be a wicked person that teaches a fool, or to be a fool that listens. Understanding is the wellspring of life. That's part of the whole wisdom, right? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Right? They'll go together. 23. The heart of the wise guideth his mouth wisely, and addeth doctrine to his lips, or learning. The heart of the wise guideth his mouth wisely. Heart of the wise instructs his mouth and adds persuasiveness to his lips. Right. Guide your mouth. Knowing the right thing to say, the right words, being persuasive. Interesting. 24. Fair words are as an honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the bones. Kind words. Always be kind. I wonder if it says kind over here. Pleasant words are honeycomb. Right. Pleasant words, kind words. Say good things to somebody. If you're heading over to say hi to somebody, or somebody's going to pass you and they're looking at you, think of something pleasant and good to say. Man, you look nice today. Right? Anything pleasant, kind. Sweetness to the soul and health to the bones. Right? Always say kind words. I'm going to highlight that. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. 25. There is a way that seemeth right to a man, but the issue thereof are the ways to death. And for some reason, this verse sticks out on me every time I read it. There's a way that seems right to a man, but the issue thereof are the ways of death. Or its end is the way of death. should always consult the Lord before you do anything, right? We're a wise person. 26, the person that travaileth for himself, for his mouth craveth it of him. Travaileth. That's a word, huh? A worker's appetite works for him, for his hunger urges him on. Let's see if we can find that in the dictionary. Travail. Painful or laborious effort. Yeah, painful or laborious effort. Means works hard, okay? Works hard. The person that works hard for himself, for his mouth, urges him on, right? Because he's angry. Travail, works hard for himself. We had to look that up, didn't we? 27, a wicked man diggeth up evil, and his lips is like burning fire. Right. How many people do you know it doesn't have to be a man, too. It can be a person always digging up evil, right? Their lips are like scorching fire. Okay. There's a lot of people. We are Christians. We have been forgiven of our past, but some people will still bring up their past. Okay. Especially when a person of some notoriety. I mean, there's been some actors and some sports people that have given their lives to Jesus. I mean, they're on fire, and everything they do now is for Christ, and they're on fire Christians. But there's old videos of them doing horrendous things, right? And people dig that up, and they say, look what an evil person he is, right? Lips are like scorching fire, talking about their past. When God has forgiven their past, and they have been forgiven, and they are clean, and that stuff shouldn't be brought up because the Lord won't remember it, okay? As far as the east is from the west, the Lord will remember it. Will not remember it. He won't remember it. But we do, and that's wrong, okay? A wicked person digs up evil or the past, and his lips are like burning fire. Okay? And remember that when you're trashing somebody, especially somebody who's given their life to the Lord, and the past no longer matters, okay? That's important stuff right there. 8:28, a forward person soweth strife, and a tale teller maketh division among princes. Yeah, tale teller, I like that. A slanderer separates intimate friends. Okay. Now this right here is gossip. Again, forward person, perverse person sows strife, and a tale teller, a gossip, makes division among princes. Here it says among intimate friends. Mm-hmm. Shut your mouth, okay? Shut your mouth. You know something? Keep it to yourself, okay? If you know, if you're spreading gossip, so and so did such and such, you're spreading strife, right? And you're separating friends. Keep your mouth shut. That will come back on you, okay? You will end up alone. Right? 29, a wicked man deceiveth his neighbor and leadeth him into the way that is not good. Right? Come on, it'll be fun, I promise, right? 30, he shutteth his eyes to devise wickedness. He moveth his lips and bringeth evil to pass. With his whole endeavor he laboreth to bring his wickedness to pass. He who winks his eye and does so to devise perverse things. He who compresses lips brings evil to pass. Okay. When he says they're talking winking, right? Wink your eyes, nod your head. You do that when you're going to rip somebody off. Okay. Trust me. Right? Brings evil to pass. It's hard to find honest people nowadays, especially in the sales service industry. Politics, but we won't go there, right? A lot of wink in the eyes going around there. Huh? 31. Age is a crown of glory when it is found in the way of righteousness. Right. Look, we can't read P. Let's go down to P here. That is, when it is joined with virtue, or else the elder that the wicked are, the more they are to be abhorred. Right. Yeah, when age is a crown of glory, when it is found in the way of righteousness. Right. Let's say that over here. A gray head is a crown of glory, it is found in the way of righteousness. Okay, it doesn't say the all important when. Okay. Old people who are wicked are to be even more abhorred than when they were young. Okay. It does when it says when. Okay. It's a crown of glory when it is found in the way of righteousness. And that's it. And they even italicize that word here. And it could have been out there. It is found in the way of righteousness. Age is a crown of glory. If you're a mean old person, wicked, then no crown of glory for you. Right? 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty man, and he that ruleth his own mind is better than he that winneth a city. Right? Control yourself. Now, everybody has trouble in this area because we live in a world that is run by Satan and all of his minions, right? And the good people, Christians, the righteous ones, they love to step on you. And it makes you angry. But the one who's slow to anger is better than a strong man. And he that can rule his own mind is better than he that can win a city. Okay. It's something we should all try and do, right? And 33, the lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposition thereof is of the Lord. Okay, they used to cast lots, just a bundle of straws, and do this, and whoever got the long straw or the short straw was the one God chose. That's the way they felt. Just like now, you can have two football teams, and they're huge, and they're massive, and they're strong, and they can bend you in half and break you. But they will honor the decision of a flipped coin. Okay, where it lands, they said. I mean, in these days, that was God's decision, but now they still accept the decision of a small coin. Strong, raging men as to who will go first. Interesting, though. Okay, there you go. Let's go over our highlights in here. We highlighted quite a bit. 16. Okay, we highlighted 2. Right. All the ways of man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the spirits. Okay? The Lord weighs your ulterior motives, right? You think you're doing something for a good reason. If you're out feeding the poor and you have somebody going, here, film me feeding the poor so I can put it on YouTube, get millions of likes and make thousands of dollars. Okay? Your motives are clean in your own eyes. I'm feeding the poor. I'm doing a good thing. I'm doing it for God. But the Lord pondereth the spirits. The Lord weighs your motives. Are you feeding the poor? Right? Jesus said the left hand should not know what the right hand is doing. If you're feeding the poor, nobody but God should know about it. Okay? And God will reward you. If you're doing it for any other reason, okay, it's an ulterior motive. God won't bless that. important. The Lord weighs your motives. 3, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be directed. Why did we highlight that? Yeah, we talked about this. Commit everything to the Lord before you do it, okay? Like I talked about the plumber who came out and prayed over the job, right? There are cops that will kneel down outside their cop cars and pray over every shift for their safety and the well-being of others they're protecting. Okay? Everything you do, you should commit your works. Any job you do, you should commit it to the Lord, right? And all your thoughts will be directed in the right direction. That's important stuff. That if all that are proud in heart are an abomination to the Lord, though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. Proud in heart are an abomination to the Lord. Everyone who is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Assuredly, he will not be unpunished. Right? He will not be unpunished. Don't be proud. Okay? Don't think you're better than somebody else. Because you're not. The Lord created us all in his image. You're not better than anybody else. If you think you are, that's pride. Okay? It's something you need to get rid of. It's amazing how many people won't make it because of pride. Okay, better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without equity. Right, with injustice. Right? Little with righteousness. It's better to be poor and be righteous than to be rich. Right? With injustice and wicked gains. Talk to a rich person and then talk to a poor person and see who's happier. Okay. By and large, you'll find that poor people are much happier in their life than rich people are. Money doesn't fill that hole. Only God can fill that hole. Okay, we highlighted 16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding is more to be desired than silver. Right? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Okay? Seek that first. Seek the Lord and seek this and the gold, and the other stuff will come. Right? Pride goeth before. Okay, where are we at? Okay, right here. Grandma's verse: pride goeth before destruction, and a high mind before a fall. You go in all proud and all praying, and I'm the best one here. Somebody's going to knock you off that pedestal. Every time, every single time, somebody will be better than you. Right? Better to be humble and be lifted up than to be proud and be knocked down. Yeah? There's my own spin on that verse. 22. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto them that have it, and the instruction of fools is foolishness. Right? Understanding is the fountain of life. Comprehending, understanding, getting all these verses and letting them sink in, knowing their meaning, right? And saying, I get it. It's a wellspring of life. 23, the heart of the wise guideth his mouth wisely, and addeth doctrine to his lips. Right? A wise person is not going to speak unless he speaks things that will lift somebody up. Okay? 24, fair words are as an honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the bones. Right? Fair, kind words, pleasant words. If you're going to talk to somebody, you should only say kind and pleasant things to them. Right? Don't tear them down. Why? Here's why. A wicked man diggeth up evil, and his lips are like burning fire. And we talked about this at length. Especially people that are saved. A wicked person says, but you did this and this and this and this. He goes, yes, but I'm saved and God's forgiven my sins and I'm clean now. Their lips are like burning fire. They won't believe that. Okay? Only another Christian can understand that. Right? And 28, a forward person soweth strife. This is gossip. A perverse or forward person sows strife. And a tale teller or gossip maketh division among princes or separates intimate friends. Gossip is a terrible, terrible thing. Okay. And he talks about it all over Proverbs. Okay. And this is interesting. I always thought age was just when you got gray hair, that's your crown of glory. It's your crown of glory when it is found in the way of righteousness, in a righteous person. A mean, old man, you can probably think of some mean, old billionaire men that are just evil. Okay, no crown of glory for them. We won't mention any names. Right? 32, he that soweth unto anger is better than the mighty man, and he that ruleth his own mind is better than he that winneth a city. Slow to anger. Control your temper, okay? If you can control your temper, you're better than the strongest man, right? And if you can control your mind, you're better than a person who can take over a whole city, right? So there you have it. That's Proverbs 16. It's later, we're still in Daniel. They're talking about the future. He's talking about the stuff that is in Revelations now. God told this story of what was to come. He didn't just tell it to John in Revelations. Jesus already knew about it. Jesus knew everything. Okay, and he could easily tell you what this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. Because he was God. He knew what was going to, he could see that. He told Daniel the story that he told John. Different forms of it, okay? He told Isaiah, Ezekiel, he told, right? The script has always been there, and God wrote it. He knows what's going to happen. So, and it's interesting listening to it in Daniel. But stay tuned for that. We're in 260, I believe. So, there you go. We're getting towards the end of that, too. So, give us a like if you think about it. Until tomorrow, we'll do it again. See you later.